Hello, and welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged, where today I will be taking a look at UK Season 1 at long last. I originally planned this video to be out like 2 weeks ago, so I'm really glad that I'm finally getting this one out. So, episode 1 is the runway challenge, so we will be looking at the 4 best and 4 worst looks from each category. I will preface this by saying that I am not from the UK, I do not get the vast majority of the references here, and I am very sorry, I will be apologizing for that a lot. The first reference I don't get is Blue Hydrangea's look here. I don't know what this is referencing, however, it is a really good look, it fits her great, and there's a lot of different details and accessories. Great look. Crystal and Something Wong, they are both really good looks, they both have really nice perspective and accessories and details, however, I don't really get the references, I'm sorry. Finally, for the top 4, we have the Vivienne. It's a Pete Burns look, I know who Pete Burns is, I get the reference. This is really good. I think flats on the runway was a risk, but I think it pulled off for what she was going for. 10 out of 10. For the bottom 4, we have Bag of Chips. Not a bad look, just not much going on. Cheryl Hole, I have the exact same critique. They're both fine looks, and it's not like too outside of the box. Gothy Kendall, I don't know if there is a reference here that I'm not getting, but even if there is, this look is just bad. The makeup is certainly interesting, but it's just not that good of a look, especially compared to the 4 good ones we just critiqued. Finally, we have Vinegar Strokes. Once again, I don't think this is a reference I get, however, the makeup is kinda crunchy, I don't really like the wig, and I don't like the outfit. So, next up is the Queen Elizabeth category. We have Crystal, who I think she did a really nice job. It's like a military Queen Elizabeth, she presented it really well. Crystal's fashion this season was really good on a season where there honestly wasn't too much good fashion. Davina is definitely 4th place here. It has perspective and personality, I just don't really like it. Speaking of perspective and personality, we have Something Wong. This look is absolutely incredible. It is so outside of the box. I don't know how long it would take for me to think of doing this. Makeup is great, the outfit is great, the stamp is great, the concept is great. It's just all around a 10 out of 10 look. Finally, we have the Vivienne as like duck hunting Queen Elizabeth. It's good. It is a very good look. She has the alleged prosthesis on her face to change the shape of her nose. The look itself is just good. The only critique is once again she is wearing flats. However, it makes sense for the look, so I can kind of look past that. For the bottom 4, I have the same critique I had for the bottom 4 originally. None of these looks are bad, they're just basic. Cheryl Hole's look isn't a bad look, it's just on the basic side. Gothy Kendall, same thing, it could fit her better, definitely, but it's not a bad look, it's just not good. Scaredy Cat definitely went out there for this choice, and while I don't personally like it, I see why someone would. It is definitely the most creative of the 4. Finally, we have Vinegar Strokes. It's just once again on the more basic side. The look itself is just not outside of the box in any way. For the runway, I'm keeping it roughly the same. Vivienne, Crystal, and Something Wong are in the top, Crystal taking Baga's place. Then for the bottom 3, we have Cheryl, Vinegar, and Gothy. Vivienne wins this challenge. I think she had 2 really nice cohesive looks. Something Wong and Crystal did as well, but I'm just giving it to Vivienne here. I really liked the reference on the first look, and I think she was the best in the first category, and second best in the second category. For the bottom 3, Cheryl is low, with Vinegar and Gothy lip-syncing to New Rules by Dula Peep. Gothy kinda gets smoked here. Next up is the acting challenge, where I'm gonna keep the original judging. I think it was spot on. We have Baga getting the win with her team of Something Wong, Vinegar Strokes, and the Vivian as high. Crystal and Divina are safe. Cheryl is once again low, not because she's doing a bad job, just because she happens to be third worst week after week. And then Blue and Scaredy are in the bottom. They lip sync to Venus. Blue steamrolls and Scaredy Cat is eliminated. I definitely want to see Scaredy Cat again. I think she has a lot more to show and she has a really unique perspective. Next up, we have the episode 3 design challenge. First up, Crystal. Great. This is a great look. It is such a cool concept and the detailed sewing is really nice. I love the accessories. I think she did a really nice job. Divina DeCampo. This is insane in the best way possible. I love the giant umbrella. I love the makeup she did. I love the sewing. She did a really good job with that. And I think the styling with the shoes, the hair, she just did an all-around great job. Vivian gave us a really solid final product here. I love the hair with it. My only critique is that it is only one color and there's a lot of fringe, so we can't actually see the sewing. Otherwise, I think she would be in the top 2 for me this week. For the bottom 3, we have Baga, Something Wong, and Vinegar Strokes. Baga, this is atrocious. I'm not gonna say anymore because I feel like I would just get too harsh. Something Wong, easily the best look of the 3. I think if she had a bit more time, it could have turned out a lot better. However, it just doesn't really look finished. Finally, Vinegar Strokes. I don't know what's going on here. I'm at a complete loss. I don't know if this is just a reference to something I'm not getting. The hair doesn't work. The makeup is a huge improvement over the first episode. However, the garment is just not good. It's not finished, and I don't think the final product she was going for I would have liked either. For the judging, we have Divina as the winner. I think she was the best. Crystal was right behind her. I would say like 51-49. Vivian is also high. Blue and Cheryl are safe. They both did really nice jobs though. Something Wong is going to be low here. I think she had the best final product of the 3, leaving Baga and Vinegar in the bottom. Baga is not going to win this lip sync. However, I am production here, and from a production standpoint, it absolutely makes sense to keep Baga over Vinegar. Vinegar has a much worse track record, and Baga has a win, so all of that combined with some good editing, Baga stays and Vinegar is sadly eliminated, although I would do everything in my power to get her back on All Stars. Next up, we have episode 4, which is Snatch Game. It is very rare that production will get all of the judging correct, but I think that is what happened here. Baga and Vivian were great as Margaret Thatcher and Donald Trump. Blue Hydrangea was a solid 3rd place as Mary Berry. Divina was just kinda meh and is low. Crystal and Something Wong are in the bottom. They lip sync to Spice Up Your Life. It is a solid lip sync, one of the best of this season, although that is not saying much. Crystal wins and Something Wong is eliminated. Don't worry, the judging will start to deviate from the actual season. For episode 5, we have girl groups. Baga, Blue, and Divina, the Frock Destroyers, are absolutely incredible. They all win. Cheryl is the best in her group, I would say 3rd best overall for the week, and she is safe, leaving Vivian and Crystal in the bottom. Vivian and Crystal lip sync to Power. It is an incredibly underwhelming lip sync for how good of a song Power is, especially for lip syncing, and Crystal is eliminated because her terrible hair reveal was just, like, I don't know what happened to her energy-wise this episode, but it wasn't in the performance, and it was certainly not in that lip sync. Next up, we have episode 6, which is the advertising challenge. 3 placements are locked in stone here. Vivian is easily the winner. Divina is high, and Cheryl is one of the 2 slots in the bottom. Now we are faced with the difficult issue of Baga versus Blue in the bottom. At the time, both queens were huge fan favorites. Blue had a slightly better runway than Baga, but Baga had a slightly not bad performance compared to Blue. They were both really bad, and you could make a solid argument for both of them being in the bottom. Ultimately, I am going to get rid of Blue here. I think it helped her career a lot to be quote-unquote robbed. I also think that the Cheryl Blue lip sync would be much better than the Cheryl Baga lip sync. And to try and save the quality of the season, I unfortunately have to get rid of Blue. It'll make sense a bit after the makeover. For episode 7, we have the makeover, and I don't know what production was thinking. I really don't. So, bag of chips, crunchy. Cheryl Hole literally cloned herself. Like, if I showed this to someone who had never watched Drag Race and didn't know what Cheryl looked like, and said one of them is a makeover partner and one of them is a drag queen, I don't think they'd be able to tell the difference. They both looked incredible. Divina did not deserve to win this. The makeup and the dresses were just meh. It did not deserve to win. However, does it deserve to be in the bottom? We will see. And then the Vivienne, I think the hair is great. I think she had a pretty solid rapport with her mom. The looks are good. It's not the best thing ever in terms of makeovers, but it is certainly not bad. For the judging, we have Cheryl Hole as the winner with Vivienne as high. Now, Baga is the clear worst here, and Divina just is in the bottom by default. I think if there were more queens left, she easily could have been safe. However, Baga and Divina are in the bottom. They lip sync to Tears Dry on their own, and I genuinely don't know which way this goes, so I will be looking at both scenarios. Moving on to the finale, track record wise, Vivienne is clear first with 28 points. Baga and Divina, assuming they win the lip sync, are both tied at second with 23 points. And then Cheryl is in third place with 19 points. So for the first scenario, in which Divina De Campo stays and Baga Chips goes, we have the final three of Cheryl, Divina, and Vivienne. They do the To the Moon remix. I think Cheryl will do a pretty good job. However, her track record is just so bad compared to Divina and Vivienne that she is cut at third place. For the win, I'm giving it to Vivienne here. I think she won the final lip sync. I think she did slightly, ever so slightly better in the remix when you factor in the performances. And I think her track record is just great. Vivienne only had one miss this season compared to Divina's 2, and Vivienne has 3 wins compared to Divina's 2. The second scenario, the one where Baga stays and Divina goes, I think plays out even more simply than the other. Baga and Vivienne are the clear top 2 here. Vivienne steamrolls Baga on the final runway in track record in the remix. The only thing Baga has on Vivienne is the fan vote, and I don't think that's enough to win her the season. Baga and Vivienne lip sync to I'm Your Man. Vivienne absolutely smokes Baga. I think Baga would do fine here. Vivienne just did a really nice job matching the energy of the song, and Vivienne wins the season. Overall, I think this is a generally better outcome for the season. The judging has stayed mostly the same. However, there's a couple tweaks here and there that I think make it more fair. Baga isn't clearly favored like she was on the original season, and Cheryl isn't completely cast to the side like she was on the original season. Hey, it's Drag Race Rejudged. Do you want gay shit? Well then check out the RuPaul's Drag Race Rejudged YouTube channel and hit subscribe.